This is Odin's Wolf Survival from the Great Forests of Kansas. Today we have the Survival Torch. It's a product by prepared4x.com. That's where their site's at. And they have several things, I do believe. These are their fire starters. I saw one quite some time back, and it was their first iteration, and I ended up with it. And that's this one. This is the large version now. They've got a smaller version, of which I do not have. This is their updated lighter version. And you can see the difference. This one I've had for a bit of time and just haven't got around to reviewing it yet. This is the heavy one. You can tell there's a lot more aluminum in this one than this one. They've milled it out and trimmed her down some, and you can tell there's a bit of a difference in weight in hand. The cord's smaller. They're both wax infused hemp cord. This one was brought back from SHOT Show by my friend David Fortier. He figured I needed to do a review on it because thought it was kind of interesting, and it kind of is. So they both work the same way. This one I'm gonna stick in my pack, I think. It's kind of interesting. They make a smaller version, a 4-inch one, and they say you can light a fire with a 4-inch, but we'll see. We'll run a 6-inch one, see how it runs. Okay, this is the striker. It's got a gouged end on it, and it's sharpened right through here on both sides. So you unhook it and drag it down the rod. But while you're doing that, before you do that, you pull your cord all the way back. And this cord will burn 3 hours, so it said. If it's stuck, you'll have a bigger flame and an inch or so of cord sticking out. But at a 1/4 inch with it burning, and just keep feeding it out as it burns it back, it'll burn 3 hours. So that'll start multiple fires. That should do quite nicely. Okay, what I was thinking on this too, also, this could also work to set up some more tinder. With the teeth. As you can see, it peels it off pretty good. But the other thing that I was seeing on this, as you can tell here, half your rod's down inside this aluminum. Now if you're scraping it off, it might wear this down, of which it's going to eventually wear this out to where it won't hold the rod, in theory. The other thing is, I think, is once it gets going, you could probably scrape it like this and get the rod down in there without messing up the aluminum housing. But that's neither here nor there on that. That was my concern on it, is you've got half your rod buried in the aluminum. Now the idea is sound. You got a big striker that you can hang on to. You take your wax and your hemp, separate out the fibers on the end. And they say you can do it like this or with your fingers. Personally, a little of both would work. Once you got it broken out a little bit, take your serrated edge on the end and just open the fibers up. And if you do that on a piece of wood or something, you're less likely to damage your tool on the end. There we have everything all nice and broken up. So it should catch a spark pretty handy. All right, now their idea is to bring it down. And this is large enough you can actually get a hold of it pretty easily, which is handier if you're cold and needing to start a fire. You can hang on to it pretty easy. There it's burning. First couple strikes took the black off, and then it ignited it pretty easy. Then you could pull it back like this, hold it under your fire, your bundle, your tinder bundle, and it'll get things going pretty readily. Even if it's wet, and as that burns back, you can feed out more to get a bigger flame. Or you can pull it back to get a smaller flame. But you can get difficult to ignite. But there it is, and to put it out, just pull it back in. That should snuff it. Pull it out to make sure before you store it. Make sure it's all out. And now once this is charred and blackened like that, it makes it much easier to ignite the next pass. There it goes. This is an easy to use product, especially for a novice or somebody that hasn't ran a fire steel, ferrocium rod, whatever before. This is easily enough picked up. Everything's all in one. So all you're carrying is one thing. And it's large enough that you can keep hold of it fairly readily, especially in weather where your hands are cold and things are, even with gloves on, I think you could run this. So this is a survival torch by Prepared 4X. It's a nice little bit of kit. They run in at 25, as I said, they run in at 25. They're 6 inch, these are 6 inches long. They make a 4-inch version. I'll put the specs up on what they weigh and everything like that in the video, and links to where to get it below if you're interested. It's a nice bit of kit, works well. I tend to like this one where everything's all milled out. Is a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller. It's kind of a nice piece. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. Helps with the analytics with YouTube and helps the channel grow. Every little bit helps. And I hope you have a glorious day.